So I'm Gillian Darley. I'm a writer, ever so slightly a Jill of all trades, and I am president of the 20th Century Society at the moment. But my subjects of the last few years have largely been in and around the world of Ian Nairn. I'm talking about Jane Jacobs today. I'm writing about Jane Jacobs for the book that will be produced. And I don't think I'm going to leave the 50s really now. Well, I mean, Bristol particularly, everything was laid bare, after the bombing and so on. And the more I read about what confronted the the city architect, the more admiration, in a sense, I have that anything at all was done in those years. But at the same time, people were kind of, they were waiting for the tablets. And the tablets tended to come in very rigid form. And so then plans were, there was always a plan, there'd been a pre-war plan. And so that Bristol was being sort of reformed according to a very rigid set of ideas. Some of them very contemporary, some of them a little bit time expired. Plus it had probably an unusually large vocal community sort of tidal wave, really, fighting against what was being imposed. So you have a sort of classic melting pot. And I think a lot of cities were in the same sort of state, but I don't know how many had as much vocal backlash, vocal and constructive content to deal with. Yes, of course, you try and build on what seems to work, and I think, what Bristol has done with the water here, and I've tried to tie in my writing about Jane Jacobs for this, some of her comments on comparable areas, so green space, a little bit about how to deal with a car, and water. All of which are applicable here. I can't do unslumming and her sort of things about neighbourhoods and things because I don't know Bristol well enough, and somebody like John Harris is doing a very good job on that, so I'll leave that to others. So that's what I hope people can take away, that you look to the shared spaces, you look to things generate, and that's something that she's very good on. She's talking about the water side. If you actually have the water frontage back as a public province as opposed to a working port, things happen. Residential areas come to ports. Dock warehouses get turned into places that draw people in. You have a sort of you have a push and pull going on. And it's, she was writing, effectively she was writing in the 50s. Her book came out in 1961 in the States, in 1962 here. But it's fabulously relevant in its observational truths. And it's, she's very acute.